ones in the landfills and the bins outside. So, can anyone tell me how much trash we make in a day? Go ahead, tell me.
1.5 pounds.
Wrong, but here's this for trying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I suck at throwing. We actually make 4.6 pounds of trash in a day, and that's according to the Municipal solid waste stats from the government. And that adds up to about 1,700 pounds of waste in just a year. And so have you guys heard about how Twin Falls Recycling Center, how they have stopped basically recycling it because it's too expensive to sell their products to China, so now they're just dumping it into the landfill. So your recycling is doing nothing. So how do you combat all this waste? Can anyone give me an idea?
Or what?
On how to combat this waste?
Burn it.
That's a lot of CO2 emissions right there. So, yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Reuse.
Yeah, that's a good one, yeah. So actually, today this is about zero waste and what it is and how the movement came to be. So zero waste is basically the idea that someone doesn't make any waste at all. So what I did for about a month is that I tracked how much waste I made and I tried using reusable stuff. And this is how much trash I made within a month. I'm going to go ahead and pass this around. You can look inside it. There's nothing dirty in it, I promise. So firstly, who started this whole zero waste movement? This was B. Johnson. She is a French writer, and she basically wanted to stand up to producers to say that stop using such wasteful packaging on all your items. So we all know how like a Lay's chip bag is probably more plastic than it is chip, right? It's more chip and more air. Rather than more chip, there's more air and plastic in it. And in more simpler terms, it's basically just getting rid of anything that's one-time use. So all your napkins, all your feminine hygiene products, all your plastic spoons and forks, all of that stuff. Yeah, that's a little bit shocking to you guys, but completely rid of that. And although this is not really a lifestyle for everyone, I feel like everybody can at least incorporate an aspect into it, like reusable straws or even reusable utensils. So what are the rules to this whole zero waste thing? So there's 5 R's to it. This is reduce, reuse, refuse, rethink, and rot. And you guys may be already familiar with reduce and reuse. So reduce meaning to cut back on items that are very wasteful. Reuse meaning to repurpose items from before. Now, refuse meaning to stop using those plastic, like refuse basically at any restaurants, like those styrofoam takeout containers or those paper Chinese takeout containers or anything like that, and bring your own actually. Rot is when you have all these organic materials, like let's say I peeled an apple, so I'm going to put it into my trusty dusty compost bin instead and use it for my soil or my garden. And lastly, rethink is probably the hardest one for everyone because okay, so everybody has their own little products and stuff, right? Laundry detergent comes in plastic bags or plastic bins. So you have to make your own, or your cream, or your toothpaste, or your makeup remover. So rethinking is quite hard for some people because it's really hard to do it at zero waste because everything comes in a plastic container. So this is the stuff I use for my zero waste plan, and that's how I got that whole container to be just that big for my waste products. So I have my reusable tote bag for my grocery bags, my laundry detergent I made myself with bulk items from Winco, and I do not use their plastic bags from there. I actually bring my own jars to get stuff from. My reusable tea bag, some silicone wrappers to replace saran wrap, and you guys can totally come up here and look at it later if you really want to. My silk hat mat that I replace parchment paper with, my toothpaste I make myself, my moisturizing cleanser, and my makeup remover. My straws, my makeup removing wipes I made myself, and my soybean plastic utensils. I have no clue where the fork is right now because I was just eating ramen with it. So, yeah, and I hope the one thing you guys get at least from this whole speech is that you guys use one of these aspects in your life. And if you guys just imagine if all you guys did zero waste for 1 year, you'd get rid of 36 pounds of trash in a year. Thank you.
What is the big deal with plastic? Why don't we shred it up?